Yeah, hi. From today onwards, we will start the sessions with the Pega Robotics Studio, like where we are working, developing automations and all these things. We will see, and I hope you got the software from management. If anyone faced any issue while installing Pega Robotics Studio,
I did not receive Sagar actually.
yeah, please ask the management. Like I have already shared with the, application software as well as steps how to install the
Okay.
document, so you can just inquire and you can get the software from them. Meanwhile, start sharing my screen.
Usually, when Harsha starts a new batch, right, he creates a WhatsApp group so that it will be easy to communicate. I don't know whom to contact.
Okay, I also, like, someone added me in the group yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
previous date seems, so I got notification as well. So let me know whether you are able to see my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So So once you have installed the application, you are able to see the Pega Robot Studio icon here. Whereas, as I said, this is 19.1 version. How you come to know? If you go to control panel or from Studio itself, we can see programs, and you can see Pega Robotics Studio 19.1.107. So we are having 19.1.107 here. As I said, 19.1 is the major version, and these are the sub versions. Along with that Pega Robotics Studio, while installing, you come to know, like, it will automatically extract this file and it will install this Pega native foundation as well. And also, whenever there is a need of working with OCR, in that cases we need to externally add one more application. It's a simple application, executable file only, that OCR essentials. So we need to have these three if we want to work in all circumstances. Okay, whenever we now we are not dealing with any OCR for now. So I'm not having any. When I'm trying to explain the OCR concept also, I'll install that application as well. And when I open this Pega Robotics Studio, I have shown where and how to know the version. And also, from once you have launched this Pega Robot icon here, studio icon, this ID, it will open like this. And from help also, you come to know which version it is. From help, just click on about Pega Robotics Studio, and you can see the version information 19.1.107. Okay, even if you are having a Visual Studio and added plugin on top of it, installed it, like, you can see from help itself which versions, Visual Studio which version, and Pega Robotic plugin which version, you can come to know. Okay. Okay, mainly initially we are working with four different windows here in this IDE. One is Toolbox and Object Explorer and Solution Explorer, and another one is Properties window. So all these things we can interacting regularly when we are developing any automations. Suppose initially if I don't have any windows open, if it is coming as a blank one, I'm just opening these windows from the view menu. See, from view you can see property window. These are all just plug and play. If you see, if you just drag and dragging any window on top of this title bar, like, just it will show icons here. If you place in the middle, it will occupy the entire visible space here. If I place here, it will occupy extreme right side of that. So based on your convenient while developing, you can adjust these windows. These are dockable windows where you can just hide and floating from anywhere to anywhere in the screen. As per you, developer convenient, he will place it. Okay, I'm just placing it here. I have taken property window. Other four windows, other three windows also I'll take, but I'll tell you how to use these windows regularly. Object Explorer, Toolbox, Solution Explorer. So I'm just dragging and connecting here itself. So I'm switching to one window and to other window. Like once you have arranged these all windows, for any creating any new project, we are going to file menu. If you already having any solution, you want to work or add I mean something new to that automation or a solution, you just opening the solution from here, file, open, and project or solution. Similarly, if you want to take any new one, you are going to file, new, and project. You can use shortcuts also. Once you are familiar with this, and you can just simply use the shortcuts as mentioned here, it will automatically open the project window. And here close means it will close the temporary IDE. Close solution means it will close only the solution, it will keep the IDE, which means studio, live, and save selected items. Whatever the items that you are working on, saved it, it will say, select it, save it. And the save all means it will wherever the unsaved changes, it will save everything. And these are we are not use paste setup and print, we will not use here. Recent files means what are the recent automation files you have used it. Recent projects and solution means what are the recent projects and solutions you have worked on. And the open most recent means what is the last project that you have worked on, it will open that. Exit means it will exit entire thing. Okay, these are the menus, sub menus we are using. And I'm taking new project now. I'm just going to file, new, open, file, new, project. So once you have selected that option, it will open the template like Pega Robotics Studio and templates with Pega Robotics Automation Project and empty Pega Robotics Automation Project. The main difference is this, between these two is like it is having one automation.os file added. With this, it will create without any automation.os file. So for now, I'm just taking a empty Pega Robotics automation project. I will show you the difference in these two. So I'm giving the naming for the project. Okay, demo project, demo PRJ. When I give the name for the project, automatically the solution is created with that same name. I'm just changing just for a reference to understand. I'm just changing the solution as SLN, demo solution, demo project. And it is showing the location where it is saving. By default, in documents we'll be having a Pega Robot Studio folder. Once we have installed the application, it will create the subfolders here. And a folder for projects also, one of the project here. Like I'm just changing the name, location. I'm not changing any location. If you want to change any location to save this project somewhere else, you can just browse and save wherever you want. And the option here, create directory for solution. If you uncheck this, it will not create any folder for that particular solution. With that project folder itself, it will directly save. In this scenario, when we are going to select this one, like if you have multiple projects like in the same solution, we will uncheck this one. If we have only a single project, or when we are starting the solution, just keep it as it is, the selections. I'm just clicking this empty project automation template one. I'm just clicking OK. So once I have selected the project information and the solution information, automatically whatever the solution name I have given there, it came as demo solution, and it is having as one project. This is one solution and this is one project here. You can see the project icon is a robot icon. You can see demo project. By default, it comes as references and property fields. And how it is creating in the project folder, I'll just show you. So I just right click on I just did right click on project and selected open folder in file explorer. So the location it has opened. So once I have created, automatically, as I said, the default folder, it will create as Pega Robotics Studio under documents. In that, projects folder is there, and in that, whatever the projects we are having it already, it's just creating the folders here. So now we have created one project called demo solution, right? The same one demo solution it has created, and under this demo solution we are having one solution file and as well as the demo project. So if we are creating one more project, it will create under the solution folder only. Okay. So you're seeing this demo project. Under this demo project, properties, object bin, by these are default one, object and bin. These are the default folders. Whenever you are cleaning the solution or previous references, it is holding it. In those scenarios, we will delete this bin and obj folder. It will automatically create by default once you are building the project. It will automatically create these two folders. So you can delete whenever you want to clean the solution, right? Okay, these two things. And we are having demo project here. So once we have created the folder, it has created the files. Now from the toolbox, we are not seeing anything here. You see, now from the toolbox, we are not seeing anything. From the object explorer also, we are not seeing anything. Everything is empty here for now. So if you want to have any items here, like components predefined, for that I just need to show you. Once you have extracted, I mean, install the application in your machine. Yeah, the root folder for by default it is program files 86 and Pega systems, Pega systems and Pega Robotics Studio. This is the root folder. Once you have, yeah, I mean, installed the project software, you will see all the DLL files, supporting DLL files and executable files, all the files, configuration files mostly. It is saving in this folder only. So whatever the DLLs you are seeing in the toolbox, you are going to see those components are defined or extracted from these DLLs only. So we can create our own DLLs. We'll see later sessions how to create our own DLLs, and also whatever the existing components we are extracting and we are using to build the automations, we are getting from this folder. Okay. So all these DLLs. So it is not having anything. I'm just taking one automation file. I'm right clicking on the project. And these are all called project items. Whenever you are calling, I mean, right click on the project or solution, the project items or solution items we can see. If you right click on project, it will show project related items. If you right click on solution, it will show like all project things. Like if you want to create a new project, these options you will get. Anyway, we'll see later how to create multiple projects in a single solution. For now, we are having one main solution and one project inside the solution. So I'm just taking for how where we are developing, like we are seeing add a new item, and we are seeing this adapters and window forms, all these things. We'll come one by one, like how to use, where to use, in which scenarios we are going to use these things. So windows forms, like first of all, like if you want to create any user interface, user has to enter some value or user has to see some values. In that cases, we'll define these windows forms. Suppose if any application, when you are launching, it will and give one login form, like to enter your credentials, something like that. Whenever you're interacting with the application, you has to have some user interface, right? For that, even Pega Robotics Studio, it is providing this facility to interact from the end user. So whenever you want to create any user interface, you will select this one and you will, I mean, add in your project. So when there is a need of, as I said, in RDA projects we'll be having these window forms, because for the user interaction, whenever it comes to RPA, we don't need to provide any user interface, because we are not I mean, while executing the solution there is no need of interacting with the users. So in those scenarios we'll not using this window forms. We can use, but there is no need of using these window forms. So automations is the .os files where we are building our automation flows. Whatever the manual flows in the process, they are doing it. We want to establish the, I mean, process flow, right? The flow we want to define what to perform. First it has to launch one application, second it has to navigate to some other pages in the application, it has to perform some activities. All that flows, data flows and execution flows, we are building in this automation flow, in this automation file only. You see .os file, when whatever the, I mean, adapters or automations we are selecting here, it comes as an extension .os file. .os means .openspan file. You can change the naming convention as per your requirement. So you're dealing with some window form, so you can change it to I mean, you want to prefix one, like window form means win frm, automation means AUTX, windows application means win app, or web application means web app underscore. All these naming convention we need to follow while creating any, I mean, object in the like project. Okay. So all these things, I'll tell you one by one. Window form for user interface, and automation for building the automation flows. And Windows application means the adapters they are providing here to integrate the external applications. External applications in the sense like Windows applications, which are standalone applications which installed in your local machine. Okay. And web application means we are having two web application adapters here. One is web application adapter, and the second one is universal web application adapter. The difference between these two is this web application adapter is mainly compatible to Internet Explorer. Whatever the applications we are launching from Internet Explorer, those applications might not be work in other browsers, like not compatible to launch in other browsers like Chrome or Edge. In the similar way, whatever the applications launching in Google Chrome and Edge, those are not compatible or not giving all functionalities as a visual or functional. Those are not working as properly in other browsers. So whenever we are launching any applications, there someone or the application itself suggests to launch in Chrome or Internet Explorer for better viewing or better functionality. So it is the first web application adapter is like it is compatible with internet application. But we have a scenario like here, like in most of the organization now stopped working with Internet Explorer, because Microsoft has stopped updating, providing patches or updates for that Internet Explorer. They have giving in Microsoft Edge or Microsoft Edge Internet Explorer compatible mode. They are giving those features. So mostly nowadays they are using with universal web application adapters. Initially, there are a lot of applications or solutions built using this in web application adapter. But now, whatever the projects built using those web application adapter, those are migrating to universal web application adapter. Okay, we'll come to know majorly what are the differences between this web application adapter and universal web application. But now just remember, these are two adapters like which are used to integrate the web application adapters, interacting with the browsers. Here yeah, these are two adapters used to integrate those applications with the Pega Robotics Studio. Okay. And this is the global container where whatever the variables we are defining in our automation flows, those we are defining it in global container, so that the scope of the variables, everything here, it is widely accessible entire automation flows. If you are defining it in a automation only, so it will allow to only use that in that particular automation. It will not accessible from other automations. Similarly, if you defining here, it will allow use that particular variable or component in entire automations. So this is the recording feature where it will capture the flow in the document itself, and we are not widely using this one. Application bar, it is similar to Windows application form, where giving interaction with the user, but it occupies as a bar in the top level of the screen, where it will show what is the status, and what stage it is, and what are the I mean, if we define any logs, if we want to display in there, we are having this one as interface for the user. Okay. And the configurations and the services we are going to see, like configuration in the sense, if we are having multiple environments like dev environment, like test environment, like production environment or pre-prod environments, if we have these kind of environments, if you want to deploy that solution, it will give multiple environments defined files. If we take these configurations, it will we'll see one by one. The web services, if you want to interact, we have this predefined one. So we will see one by one. First we will see the window form, or automations we will take. Automation, uh, automation one, simply I'm just not naming anything. Automation one. So once I have taken this automation in the project, you are going to see lot of components available here. You can see all these component extracted from the DLL files. What I have shown, the DLL files, right? So all those DLL files you have seen here, from these DLLs only, it has extracted all the components here. You are seeing it. If you are not finding any of the required component, or not I mean your custom DLL, if you want to add here, just right click on your any of the toolbox, just right click and click on choose items. Once you click the choose items, it will show the .NET components as well as Pega Robotics components. As I said, the toolbox contains .NET components and Pega Robotic Studio provided components. Whatever the components the listed in the toolbox, here you can see whichever I mean checkbox having checked, those relevant components only we are seeing here. If you want to see any required I mean component, you just need to check that one, and you just need to click on OK. Or you can browse your own custom components. If you want to browse, you can browse and you can get that custom one, and select this and click OK, so that it will give the components defined in that DLL. Okay. If you see the references, initially we are not having these references files. By default, whenever you are adding any new feature, any I mean automations, it by default it going keep on adding. In coding perspective, we need to add our own references, what we are from which DLL we are taking it, and we need to add those references by default. If it is not external one, by default it will automatically append these references here. You see only few references here. Like if I want to take one more uh, I mean project item here, it will show many references here. I'm just taking add new item and web application, I'm just taking it. If you see, references got automatically added. Likewise, whenever you are taking any predefined component, the particular references, it is automatically going to add in under this references. If you want any add any references externally, you just right click and add reference, and it will show. If it is a .NET component, it will show under this. If any DLLs, it will show here. If any projects, if you are having multiple projects under the same solution, if you want to add it as a reference to inherit the uh, features which are used in another project, it will show the list of projects available here. For now we are having only one project, because of that it is not showing anything. If you want to any add any other project in under the solution, it will show the list here, so that if you can select the demo project or other project, and you can add as a reference, those also it will come under this references. And if you want to personally, if you have any DLL saved in anywhere, you just browse and select. You can see the executable files and DLLs, it will show to add in under this references. Okay, and it will show the recently added one. This is when you want to add external DLLs or custom one, you want to add as a reference, just right click. Okay, I'm just deleting this web application. So now I'm having only one automation file. I'm not having anything. I'm just creating one window form. I'm just so if we provide the naming convention like this window form particular, it is used for using for login. So in that scenarios, if you provide any naming prefixes, providing any prefixes, you can easily identify what is this object here, object explorer. If you see win form means, I can easily identify it is a window form. And if you are having multiple window forms defining and using for different purposes, in that scenarios, you giving naming convention as per the usage. If it is for login, and if it is for accessing any other objects in that any other application, so I'm giving as per the naming standards. Okay, so whatever you are using it, it will show the items in the like object explorer. I'm just taking one button. I'm creating one login window here. You can see whenever I dragged from the toolbox in this window form, automatically this is adding in the object explorer. This button is inside this design form, which I named as window form underscore login, and under this one, right? So if you want to change, if I have multiple buttons, multiple text boxes and labels in this window form, to identify which one is defined for which, like I just need to select this button, particular button, and need to go to properties. So we have seen what is the solution explorer. The solution explorer contains solution and the project information and project items listed. And whenever you come to property window, whatever the object you have selected in the object explorer, or any object defined in the automation flows or global container, like when you select that object, it will show the particular properties relevant to that object. Okay, I just selected this button, and I have lot of properties and its values here. By default, if you see here, it's grayed out, which we are not able to change anything here, which we are having, bold text, we are able to edit the text. For visual purpose, here, if I see the name for the defined for this is like button one. So if I say button one, button, if I have multiple buttons, if I provide the same Windows user interface to the end user, he'll not understand what this button meant for, what is the usage functionality for this. I'm just giving as naming it as a btn underscore button login. If you see, once I have changed that, sorry, login only I'll give. So login. Once you have given such interfaces with proper naming convention, the end user will easily understand this is the button, like where for a login purpose we have to use. So like I have changed the name for this button, and if you want to change any color or text for this particular button or yeah, features, like we can change it here. So all this, like changing, if you want to change anything, like you can change the color, it has changed. Similarly, based on your requirement, giving particular text, particular color, you can select this one. Okay. And if you want to change the size of the font, you can click here and you can change. If you want to make it as bold, if you want to change the font color size, it automatically changed. Okay. Like that. So when I changed the name for that button, initially it was as button one, but in the object explorer, still it is showing as button one only. It is not showing as button like login. So if I want to change the name for this, so if we change the properties for this, it will be easy while using an automation flow. So if I have some other button, see, I'm taking one more button here. So close. So I have taken one more button here. I just mentioned as close. If you see in object automation flow, in object explorer, if you see button one, button two, I mean, which one is login button and which one is like close button? I'm not aware of, like, while developing, if you have such buttons like around 10 to 20, hardly you'll not able to identify without a proper naming convention. So we just need to change whatever the controller objects we are taking it. We will provide the naming convention to easily identify for developer as well as for end user perspective also. We will change it. So I'm changing. I'm selecting this login. I'm just going here. There is one more property under the design. There is a name. Here I'm changing BTN. BTN naming convention giving us BTN stands for button and login. Now it has changed this here once I have selected. Similarly, I'm just selecting this close, BTN underscore close. So now you can see the name, it has changed in the object explorer. While developing automations, if I want to perform any click on that button, you can see the naming convention has easily changed, and I'm able to understand that very easily what this is. Button stands for button. By also seeing the icons here, you can easily identify like whether it is a button or a text box. I'll show you. If I take one more label here or text box, label one, label two. So I have taken two labels and two text boxes. Okay. For the label one, I'm just giving as LBL underscore username. So if you see the naming convention, when I change those properties and its values, it will automatically changing the names also in the object explorer. The text box 1 and text box 2, I'll just change it. Txt username. If I change the value here in this property text, it will come the default text here. So I'm not giving any text here. Now I have created like window form which is having username, password, and buttons. Okay. So for this, if I want to generate any flow, this I have to present this window form to the end user. He has to interact with this, provide his credentials, and click on that login button. So when I mean, I'm just saving it. When I start executing this one, how the user this window form will come from the your user end. I haven't built any solution. Whenever I started this, solution till now, it will just prompt one window form to the user to enter something. You see here, it has provided one window form with this information, whatever we have provided in that. So if we want to change the design form name as a login form, we can change in the property window itself. Okay. So he can enter something like ABC and here some text and clicking login. It is not performing anything because we didn't generate any flows till now. But if you want to hide the characters whichever they are entering in the password, right, we have a property. We need to change that one. I'll show you that. To stop the execution, either you can use shift F5 or you can see this icon here, the red block icon. You just click on that. It will stop the execution. Okay. So if you want to change any properties, you need to select that particular component so that it will show the particular component properties itself. Or either you can select like this particular one, or you can select this drop down and it will show the list of components defined here, and you can select based on that. I'm just selecting the password, and you can see the property called password care. If you give any particular special character, it will show all the characters entered in this text box. It will show only this with this star symbol. I'm just clicking, executing one more time. To execute this one, I'm just clicking this start icon.
Don't we need to save before executing the
By
component?
default, it will save automatically.
Oh, okay.
But better we need to click this save all and save on. See, now this is we are not able to read anything when someone is saying the key, I mean text also, they're not able to see. So this is a simple window form where I have shown how we are creating, I mean, windows for the user interaction. If you want to build any more complex window forms, like to show tabular content, or any PDFs or any grid views, all the components, if you want to build, we can build those components. All the components are defined inside. We can enlarge this as per the needed, and without enlarging based on I mean to fit for the window, we have properties here. Like most of the properties will not use, but you can based on our requirement, we can see, easily identify this one. Okay, auto scroll down, if you want to have scrolling options, all these things we can get it here. And as I said, if you want to define any PDF viewer, all these things we can see. As per our requirement, we'll build the design, I mean, this window forms. Okay, like buttons, radio button, check boxes, rich text boxes. Like here in the text box section, you're able to see in a single line. If you want to see multiple lines, you just write, I mean select this arrow button, and mark it as multiple. So it will show multiple, but the user interface, it will show once you have enlarged it, it will show multiple lines here. The rich text box, it is containing like lines of code, by default it is showing. Like data grid view, timestamp, date and time. So in some user interfaces, they will provide option to select date and time, right? In such scenarios, if you want to use, we can take all the components from this. So whatever the components we are having here, those components we are using it. See, if you see here, like whenever I have, I mean, I'm working with a design form, it will show only design form related components only. If I switch to automation, it will show other components. It will not show any design from related. See, I'm just once I have activated this automation, I mean window form.os file, it will show the button concept here. Component I'm able to see and drag it. The same one, the button, if I want to drag it in automation, going to toolbox, I'm not able to see those components because currently this automation flow, it is activated, so I'm not able to see. If I switch to window form, then I'm able to see the particular component. Okay, whatever the file you have activated, those particular relevant components only you're able to see in automation, I mean toolbox. Now this I'm just deleting. If you want to build any complex one, you're taking this one. So like if you see the object explorer, whatever the components we have defined, those components are able to visible here in this object explorer. As I said, object explorer contains object hierarchy one section, this section called object hierarchy, and we are able to see the components we are using, or the controls we have created from the applications, web applications, windows applications, are able to see here in a hierarchical way. You see, under this window form all these components available in a hierarchical way. And if you want to see the properties, methods and events, so those are available under this object inspector section. So this section we call it as object inspector. Now object explorer contains object hierarchy and object inspector. So if whatever the component or object you have selected in this object hierarchy, those relevant properties, methods and events will be listed here. If you see, this one is like it will show only properties. So whatever the properties for any object we are selecting, here you are able to see the properties and its values, right? Similarly, the same properties and values, those are visible under this properties section also. If you go to the automation, this is, as I said, this is properties icon, and this is events icon, and this is methods icon. We'll come to know what are events, what are methods, what are properties, and how to get if you are not able to see here. This is configure icon, like where you are you want to extract more features, more features of properties, events, method. You just click this one, configure, and you can extract this. I'm just selecting this button, login button. I'm not able to see now properties. I'm able to see only one event here. I'm able to see, not able to see like methods here. If I want to extract all those here, I'm just clicking on this configure type icon and seeing the properties. Whichever are selected, those will be coming here. So if I want to extract all properties, all events, like all methods, just select all, click OK. You can see a lot of properties, lot of events and lot of methods under this. So what method is useful for what, like we'll discuss one by one while defining automation flows. So if I select any text box related, those text box related properties, methods, events, I can see. As I said, if you are not able to see the required property or any of this, you just go to configure type and select all and click that one. Similarly, we can get all. Okay, these properties, methods and events, these are useful for building the automation flows. Whatever we are defining the automations, connecting the execution flow from one design block to other design block, it will execute as per the flow itself. So I'm just clicking, taking this event button for validation and all those things. This yellow line stands for like execution flows. This is the event I have used whenever that end user click that particular login button, what actions it has to perform. After clicking that, what it has to check for, what it has to check for. Like I haven't put any validations for now, and the automations how we are building the solution is just selecting that particular object and going to particular properties or events method, dragging that and dropping in the automation flow and connecting the design blocks here. This is execution flow, and these blue links are data flows. If I want to pass any text from any design block to any other design block, I'm just connecting this. If I don't want to, pass, I'll delete it. So this automation flow we'll see in next session, like how to build, how to check. Whatever the design window form I'm just used here, like I'll as I said that there is a Pega training, right? Training open span. So in tomorrow session, we will see whatever the user he is giving in this values here. It has to automatically take the values from here, and it has to enter here automatically and perform the login action as well. So we will see the automation flow, how we are going to build, and how we are extracting that data from one application to other application. So we will see that flow. For now, the mostly using Windows in the studio environment here, as we discussed today, like Solution Explorer and Properties window and Toolbox and Object Explorer, all these things. And we'll open for questions for today. Like just post your questions if you are having any. This might be your first session. We'll be having a lot of questions. And just ask, please.
Can you explain one more time the significance or the difference between the solution and the project, and which one we give to the end user?
So whenever we are building the solution, whenever we are deploying it, it will give only .os file and .manifest files. .os file, it is having entire solution. How many projects in the solution you are having it? Those entire projects, it will converted as a executable format. So you'll be having only one main project. Under that other project, it will be acting as a reference. So those features defined in other project, it will be added as a reference to the main project. It will execute only one project.
Okay, what is the difference between the solution and the
Project, huh?
project?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay. In this project, whatever the automation flows you are building it here, right? It will create as a project. So the same project you can plug in and take it as a reusable component in other solutions. In the solution containing projects itself, it might be single project and multiple projects. Each project, if I having any multiple applications involved in that process flow, each project I'll define one application process flow as a one project.
Okay,
The
thank you.
main one, it is having solution. Whatever we are creating the bot, right, we'll call it as a solution. Or it is having multiple projects inside it. It is our dependence, like requirement, whether to build single project solution or multiple project solution.
Okay, so it is a kind of a package and the projects which we use
Yeah.
in other. Okay, okay.
This is a local file, right, Sagar? That's why you didn't log in. Like, how do we differentiate between the users? Like, if in case multiple users will be accessing the same application, right? Or
No, no, no. Yeah, whenever we are deploying this project, right, it is running in only one machine. The same one, if you want to deploy in some other machine, it's a same functionality performing some other action. So multiple users can't access the same machine, right? The solution is going to deploy in different machines. So different users using the machine, like having that access. Suppose if I give the
okay,
solution to you,
machine in the
like
sense it's not.
you can use it. If I give the same solution, or like once I deployed it, this solution, it is converted as a executable format. You want to use this solution. So if you want to use the solution, you need to have runtime in your machine. So at a time, in that machine, one user only can access, right? You got my point? Like this window form can't be accessed from the same machine to the multiple users. One machine will be using a one user. Machine means either it's a virtual machine or a physical machine wherever they are running it. Like I mean, tell me, you're understanding, like the multiple users can't access the same file at the same time in the same single machine, right?
Right. That's correct. Like if I am building a solution, like and unless I share the files, no one else can work on the same
Hmm.
solution. Oh, okay. Like if it is a big
Uh,
application, like the way Pega works, right? It's not the way that like same multiple users might be working on the development work. Like at the same time, they are developing something, and
yeah.
I'll check
As
in my rules
yeah,
and things
I'll
like that.
clarify. I'll clarify that. Once I'm giving it to that particular machine, it is specific to that machine. I'm not putting it in a centralized location where multiple people can access from the same file from the same location. I'm giving the solution to different machines, like different machines having their own instances, so they can use as a thread. Suppose if I'm using the solution in this machine, I'm using it the same solution. if I give to you, you're using it in your machine.
Right. The project that you have just created, uh,
Yeah.
the Windows form,
Yeah.
as of now, it can only be accessed by you, not me,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Uh,
If I share this solution to you, then the same interface you will get it. You can access it.
yeah, understood. But my question is like in case if we both are working on an implementation,
Okay. Okay.
where do we need to the
Okay, I got
ODE
it now.
common shared platform?
I got it now. Like this is a end user interface. The files if we are building the solution, if we are having a same file which is common, this solution has to access the same file and other solution has to access the same file. In that scenario, we have multiple ways. One is to take the copy of that particular file from that location and place it in your local and access that file, and other
Mhm.
person also copy and paste it. If we want to perform same action on the same file without copying, just at a time one has to log that particular file so that other can't able to access. One this particular resource used that file and release that, so that second person can access it. So there are multiple ways to access those things.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay. Like that we can,
Yeah,
but this user interface, it will accessible for the same person in that particular machine. And these windows commonly we are using uh, while developing automation flow from beginning to ending. In all projects we are regularly contacting with this windows.
okay.
Okay. For today, I didn't develop any automation flows. Uh, I just explained what are the windows we are interacting. From tomorrow session, we will build the automation flows, how we are automating the human in actions. Suppose if I want to log into this application, but as I mean in process manually, I'm just entering the username and password and clicking sign in. But I just want to build the automation. It has to perform these actions automatically, so that uh, how to build the automation flows, I will explain it. I mean, for today, just need to aware of this. What are the components? How the project it is creating? What are the project items? And what are the DLLs? What are the components where it is coming from? What are the controls? I mean properties, methods, and events. I'll explain this again because regularly we are interacting with this terminology only with these automations windows only.
Understood, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, and please let me know if you have any queries.
Yeah, I'll try it now. Try it and then I'll get back, sir. Definitely,
Once
we'll
you
have more questions. Yeah.
yeah, once you have the software, right, install it in your machine, so that parallelly we can work on it, like while explaining. If you have any queries or if you got any issues while building any automation flows, I'll help you on that. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and if we are not having any queries for today, we can wind up the session.
Are we using any database, backend database to save the? No, right?
No, no. If you click save, automatically, wherever I have showed the folders, right?
Uh-huh.
Documents, project folder, projects. It's already saved everything here. I have taken one window form and login form. I mean automation, right? It is like saved here. It is having the data here. But if you want in organization, we'll be having applications like GitHub, the repositories. So
Okay.
daily, whatever we are working, if we push that file to save in repository, it will automatically saving it. So most of the organizations using that repositories, some of the organizations not using it. They are still using it in a local physical storage as a repository.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Having any queries for today?
No, Sagar.
Okay. And for information, help.openspan.com. For any technical information or terminology information, what is integration, what is automation, what is solution explorer, what is object explorer. If you want to have in detail, once you access this help.openspan.com site, the version you can select. I'm just clicking on what is solution explorer. I have explained you today Solution Explorer, right? Just go and click on the Solution Explorer. It will give the information about clearly what is exactly the Solution Explorer is useful for. And if similarly, if you want to see what is project, you just click on this project and you can see. You have asked, right? What is the difference between solution and project?
Mhm.
You can
Yeah.
see. You can see in detail explanation.
Okay.
Even whatever we have, using the terminology, we can get that information. So it is a repository defined earlier by OpenSpan, and it is continuing by Pega. So it will be very useful for learning more things about that particular component. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we'll continue tomorrow session.